Listen up. Here we go.
Yeah, Rap Radar Podcast. Elliot Wilson.
It's B-Dot.
B-Dot, what's up, baby?
Feeling good.
Yo, make sure the people, man, they got to subscribe, rate, and review the Rap Radar Podcast, right? On
Absolutely.
iTunes. We keep feeding you with these episodes, man.
Feeding them.
Speaking of feeding them, man, my guy Prodigy's here, baby. What's up, Prodigy?
What up, y'all?
And you got another damn book, man. You trying to take me out, man. This time it's a cookbook, man.
Yeah, you had to switch it up for this one. You know?
So this is a great title. It's Commissary Kitchen, My Infamous Prison Cookbook.
What a title.
Yeah, man. It's, some recipes that we used to make when I was locked up.
So these are really tested by P.
Tested
meals
every day for 3 years straight.
Jailhouse remedies.
Word.
Yeah, because I know there was always an issue with your health, with your diet and stuff like that. So talk about how did you, I guess the turning point in some ways, health-wise, that prison term actually helped you, right?
Yeah, it definitely did, man. I went in there, with the mind state that I was going to get my health together, get my mind, get my body strong. So, I was just in there eating good every day, working out, you know what I mean? Yeah,
how do you eat good in prison, man?
I mean,
I'm looking through
you gotta have food sent in. You know what I mean? Plus, they got some stuff on commissary that you can use that's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Not everything is good in there, but you make the best of it.
A lot of Jack Mac and octopus and shit like that.
Octopus, Jack Mac, calamari, salmon.
Or how did you get approached to do this, man? What was the brainchild for it?
Basically, it was just just the way I was, my mind in there. I was just eating right, working out, and doing good. When I came home, we was like, yo, that's a good idea if we put a book out like that, just to show people, how you was eating in there, and tell some stories behind it, and it's a little fun stories in there. You know what I'm saying?
Give us an example.
For example, this Rasta dude that taught me how to make a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Taught me how to make some barbecue salmon and stuff like that. Taught me how to clean it, and I don't know, just watching him cook, you know what I mean? We used to watch people before they cook, make sure they wash their hands and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because you in jazz, so people like living grimy, so you watching people, you know what I mean? So we used to catch people like, you ain't wash your hands, man. Go wash your hands, man. You know
used to check them.
Yeah.
So you had like a skillet or a crock pot, or how did it work?
So basically in there, we only had a toaster oven and a microwave. That's it. So we made everything out of that. And we were making like real restaurant style food type, you know what I'm saying?
So it was like a crew of cast that really took it serious?
Yeah, it was like, a few of us, we would all chip in, put our food together and make meals,
Crazy.
Like a lot of honey buns and things like that, a lot of pastries?
I stayed away from that type of stuff, but we would put together like some salmon, some vegetables, rice, chicken sometimes. We would make all kinds of stuff.
And what are some of your favorite recipes? You literally have the recipes in here. Like, what's some of your personal favorite ones?
Man, two of my favorite ones out of there is the barbecue salmon and macaroni salad with apples.
Macaroni salad with apples.
Sure, we're going to have to get it popping tonight.
Ready for lunch.
Fuck going out.
It's pretty good. Word.
But just in general, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Now, when I came home, I made a lot of the recipes for my kids and my family. They actually love it. They're like, yo,
Your
make that again.
She tore it up? You like that?
She loved the salmon. When I cooked the barbecue salmon, she loved that.
I saw something you was picking up, I think it was barbecue Korean chicken or something like that, right? It was somebody asked you, what would be your last meal or something. You was
you talking about the Korean barbecue?
Korean barbecue, yes. Yeah. You like that barbecue.
Yeah. I love it, man.
And I see you hooked up with Kathy, I could never pronounce her last name. And Yandoli, yeah.
You always got a female collaborator, because I know you had Laura Checkaway with the other book you did. Well, talk about working with Kathy on this one. How did that work?
Just so happened to be like that. I don't know. But Kathy's mad cool, man. She helped me out a lot. You know what I mean? Because I'll be on the road doing tours and a lot. So she helped me put the book together over Skype.
Oh wow!
I would tell her the recipes. I would tell her the things that we used to do and the little stories. And she just wrote it all down for me.
Just go back and forth.
Hey.
Is this gonna turn into a cooking show soon or something like that, P?
I mean, I'm doing a few things here and there, but I don't want to do no cooking show or nothing like that. Yeah. That ain't my style, really. You know what I mean? I'll do a few guest appearances, maybe, you know what I'm saying, and cook up some recipes for them.
But you're tying it in with the music too, because I think the promo run you're doing this and musical performances, right?
So,
talk about that.
So the whole month of October, I'm going around to different colleges. I'm doing speaking engagements at colleges. I'm actually doing Yale and Harvard. It's two of the colleges I'm doing. So I'm definitely proud of that.
Excited about that?
Yeah, excited about that. And, it's just questions and answers about the book and about, my time away in prison and how it was. But a lot of the recipes in here, it's like college dormitory style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Limited
Food.
resources.
Yeah, because it's like microwave and toaster oven. That's everything in here is from microwave and toaster oven. So it's like they can relate to that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those recipes, like
tired of what Ramon knew, deeper than that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm doing the colleges during the day, and then at night we doing performances in the city, like in the clubs and whatnot. You know what I mean?
I mean, while you were literally on the up north trip, like what was your experience like? You know, being locked up during that time.
You know, it is what it is, man. You know, I couldn't do nothing. I was stuck in there, and I just made the best of it. You know what I'm saying? I was just, like I said, I was working out. I was just focused, man, on working out, eating good, you know, reading a lot, writing a lot of songs. You know, that's it, man. I was just trying to get my mind together, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know, just try to better myself and improve myself more than ever before. That's all.
Right. And speaking of the music, man, on the solo effort, it seems like every year there's a new Mobb Deep anniversary or Prodigy anniversary.
Yeah, man.
How does that feel, like looking back on the legacy that you guys have?
Man, it's like a blessing, man. You know, when the anniversaries come around, it just reminds us like how much work we put in. You know, we put a lot of work in the studio, me and Have, like, and it paid off. You know what I mean? Because now, you know, we able to keep touring nonstop. Like, we're able to survive out here.
Yeah.
This business is tough. Everybody know that. So it's like we put the work in for years and years and years, and we still doing it. You know, but you know, looking back, when it comes to like the Hell on Earth anniversary is coming up.
Right.
Like end of November. So we getting ready to drop something for that. And just looking back on that, it's just
talk about making an album, because sometimes the Infamous gets a lot of credit. Obviously, it deserves it, but I feel like that's neck for neck right up there. That's another classic to me.
Yeah,
that's a classic album too, though.
Right with the Infamous.
I think that it's a good hip hop debate. The way people debate Low End Theory, Midnight Marauders, it's a good debate to debate. Hell on Earth.
I definitely love that debate. Too.
You could throw it in the ring. You could throw it in the ring.
See, Hell on Earth is a little bit too dark for me. I loved it.
It's dark, but that was the whole thing. That I mean, Pete can speak to it. The fact that they triumphed with Infamous.
That's like their favorite album. Hell on Earth, you know. When I talk to a lot of the fans, they tell me that's like their #1 album. You know what I mean?
Why was it so dark? Because you're coming off your first success, like you guys like finally did it. You guys are winning, like, and then you go. Obviously, there's then pressure to follow up and stuff like that from the labels and everybody around you, management. Why did that album come out so dark? You think? What was the direction? What was your approach to making it?
During the process of making that album, it was like a lot of our friends got killed. A lot of our friends died. My father died that year. Havoc lost his brother that year.
Killed by
a bunch of our friends and family, just like, we lost them. So we were going through that while we were making that album, and that is the reason why the album came out so dark. Because we were going through all of that and still had to be in the studio and crank this album out. You know what I'm saying? So it was like we just put all our emotion and all our, you know, feelings into the beats, into the lyrics, and you could hear it. You know what I mean? It came out.
What are the ones from that album that really still stand out to you, that stand the test of time in your mind?
Maybe songs like, well, the title track, of course, Hell on Earth. The one with Method Man, Extortion, is pretty dope.
Like, you want to tuck my chain in when I
But even during those dark, even though it was a dark album, you still had that bright spot, Still Shine. I love that track. That beat is amazing.
Still Shining is crazy, man. It's a lot of dope songs on that album, man.
Godfather Part 3,
of course.
Godfather, that was like the big record.
Yeah, why was that the one? It just had the Scarface beat. Like, how did that?
Yeah, we used that Scarface sample. You know what I mean? I was sitting in the crib one day and I was watching Scarface for like the 1,001 time, and then the song came on in the beginning, and I said, yo, I called Hav right away. I said, yo, son, I'm coming to the studio right now. I got the illest idea. Played it for him. He made the beat out of it. I was like, yo, why we never thought of this before? The movie been sitting around for years and years and years. Nobody ever.
And that's like the intermission part, like where really kind of the turning point.
It was like jackpot. You know what I'm saying? When we found that, we was like jackpot.
That's how you found It's Mine too, right?
Yeah, same way. Because after that, I just started listening to movies more. I started listening to movies different. You know what I'm saying?
Some scores.
Yeah, I started listening to movies differently. I was like, all right, what can we use next? You know what I'm saying? That nobody's thinking about. But when we actually used the GOD sample, we had to clear it. And when we cleared it, it was like they didn't want to let us use it. So we had to negotiate a deal with them, and basically the deal was we gave them all 100% of the
Steely
publishing.
Dan rule, give them everything.
Yeah,
Like Deja Vu,
give them 100%
they take 100% of the publishing,
and we just get the recognition for
Wow.
the song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I see you currently in a battle with Universal for something like for publishing right now, right?
Yeah. I was going through some things with them. Still going through some things with them, so I can't really talk about it too much.
cut the check.
Yeah. They owe me some bread.
But you know what's dope about this album too? I always remember Hell on Earth, you know, first getting in the media and getting like the advanced cassettes back then.
Yeah.
And then what they did with Hell on Earth is they had that song Nighttime Vultures, and you remember it has like that vulture sound?
Right.
Yeah.
So they basically put vulture noises on every record on the album. Like they used
like to cover it up so you couldn't steal it.
Yeah, remember you guys, you remember that cut of it? It was so ill. So it had like this extra vulture noise on top. It was like, well. It was so ill.
Oh yeah, I remember that, man.
It's so dark.
Shit, I think just recently Ballers used 2 songs.
Yeah, they used Hell on Earth and some other song. I was watching it bugging. I was like, wow, that's ill.
You don't get no heads up for that?
Yeah, we actually do. We do.
Oh,
We get to negotiate the sync rights price or whatever.
Talk about making Drop a Gem on them. I know like Pac passed and you guys pretty much stopped the momentum of the record. How was that a setback? And then what was like kind of mentality when you were making it? Like why was that the right statement to kind of respond to what he was saying to you guys?
Well, when Pac came out with that song, we just went right back in the studio, and it was like, all right, he want to come at us, all right, cool. We got something for that. You know what I'm saying? So we just went in, did it. It was just like another day for us. Like, that's the type of music we make.
That Mobb Deep was in conflict a lot?
That was the type. Yo, you know what's funny, man? I wasn't a big Tupac fan. I liked his songs like Dear Mama and Keep Your Head Up and all that. All of that was before all the drama and all that. But I wasn't like a big Tupac fan until he started making songs going at us. Like, hit him up.
That's hard.
Hail Mary. Yeah. I was like, ooh, that's hard, son.
Right.
When that Hail Mary dropped, I was like, oh, he coming hard now. That's when I became a real Tupac fan.
But were you really offended, like when he talked about your illness, sickle cell and all that?
Nah.
Do you remember the first time you heard Hit 'Em Up?
Yeah. I don't remember where I was at, but I remember when I heard it, I was like, oh, okay. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, so then when did LA happen? And then there's a discrepancy about what your involvement was. Did you want to be involved? Because Nori was saying you said you wanted to get taken off the record.
Right. I had a verse on the record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, take that verse over. That verse is too dope. I ended up using that verse for live nigga rap.
On Nas' album, when it was written.
You know what I'm saying? So I gave that verse to Nas instead. And
it wasn't about your position against the East-West thing at that time. It was more,
otherwise I wouldn't have been on the song at all.
Yeah.
And in the video. I was in the video and I did the chorus to the song.
Yeah.
So if I felt like that, I wouldn't have did nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If that was the case.
But you knew that verse, you wanted that verse to go to Nas, per se?
Yeah, that verse was just like too ill for me. I was like, nah, you ain't getting that. Give me that verse back. You know what I'm saying?
You really think Nori stole your style on that record though? Live nigga rap?
I mean, a lot of people say that, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's hearsay.
Yeah, a lot of people say, that. I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
But y'all was performing that record in LA too though. That's crazy.
That was the #1 record on LA radio.
But it was a diss track.
We like Mobb Deep fans. We got a lot of fans in LA and Cali, the whole California, since like the beginning when we had our demos and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it was like, they was feeling it. You know what I'm saying? They was feeling that controversy.
Yeah.
They loved Pac and they was loving Mobb Deep. So, I was bugging when we found out that LA was the #1 song on the radio out there. I was bugging like, what? They playing on the radio, son? They like, yeah, they want y'all to come performing it. We was going out there performing it and everything.
Wow.
That was crazy.
And there was no tension in the crowd, or
nah? It was just all love.
Yeah.
You never ran into Dog Pound or anything like that neither?
Nah.
Wow.
We had a couple of run-ins with some of the Death Row, the youngins, like, you know what I'm saying? the little youngins, the riffraff, Death Row riffraff, like, you know what I'm saying? We had some run-ins with them, little arguments here and there, but ain't nothing.
Oh, nobody
that
was really on, just kind of like somebody in the mix?
It was just like the crew type shit,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how Mobb Deep is like 100 of us, but there's only me and Half that's really rapping, so it's like, same thing. Like,
but did you ever feel like being from the East and being so controversial and always getting conflict, did you feel concerned when you would go to other cities that drama would pop off?
At that time, You talking about at that time or just
once you guys started becoming stars and recognized and stuff like that, how you guys moved and stuff? Because people talk about even like a De La Soul when they went around, people would challenge them because of their image XYZ, and then you guys were talking a lot of stuff and living real life conflict. So
right, basically how that go is like we was living that shit.
Yeah.
So it was like that was our mind state anywhere we at.
Yeah.
I don't care where we going. If I'm taking my kids to Sesame Place, I'm already thinking like something might pop off in the parking lot or something, anything. So I'm just prepared for that type of shit all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I was thinking even with the Infamous, like, why were you making this record? Infamous is a great album. All of a sudden, you have this prelude.
That prelude is crazy.
Acapella, you just set the tone. Like, why was it important to make that statement in your mind at that time?
That's just how I felt. I was just like a young gunner. You know what I'm saying? Hungry. I was just angry. I was like, yo, this is our time to shine. It's our time to shine. Like, you know what I mean? I was just popping my shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I love that shit.
But why the space shit? It was something with the Def Squad, Redman at the time with Keith Murray. Like, you didn't like that sound, or just being competitive?
I was just popping my shit. That's just how I felt. It wasn't nothing personal. It wasn't. I swear to you, it wasn't nothing personal.
Yeah.
I was just like, it must have been a lot of weed songs or something like that. Like, you know, I just came out. It just came out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, looking back on that album, I always use you as an example. I say Prodigy was my favorite quote unquote kid rapper, because these days you look at a 19-year-old that's rapping as a kid, but I'm like, yo, P was 19 during this era. Like, you ever think about like how young you were, you know, making these records? And
man, we was like 16 when we first got signed. When we put out Juvenile Hell, you know what I mean? So it was like, yeah. You know what I mean? I think about that all the time. I remember before we even got signed, we used to hang out in like Harlem and go to like clubs and whatnot. And it was this one club in it was this roller skating rink called the Rink in Teaneck, New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
And everybody used to go there like every Tuesday or something like that. It was like parking lot pimping up there, like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody be in the parking lot with their whips and whatnot. That's when blowouts was in style, like all the Harlems, it was popping back in the days. Like, you know what I mean? Willie Burgers, all that type of shit. We was out there, like we was riding around. We had our little whips and whatnot, and we used to see Clark Kent, right? And Clark Kent came up to us one day. He didn't even know who he was. He didn't know we rap. He didn't know nothing. He just always used to see us up there.
This is you having a couple other guys?
Yeah, me and Hav and the crew. We used to just hang out all the time. So Clark Kent used to see us at the Rink, and he used to be like, yo, I love y'all little niggas. Y'all gonna be something. I don't know who y'all are, but y'all gonna be popping one day. Watch. I see y'all out here all the time, man. I fuck with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. That's before you even would go up to Def Jam and stuff like that?
Yeah, that was before anything. You know what I'm saying? So I always remember Clark from back then. He used to see us like little niggas hanging out, like, you know what I mean? Just having our fun, chilling, like, you know what I'm saying?
I always want to know, big thing about the Infamous, Survival of the Fittest. Why was Puff in the video?
Hey, yo.
I never, because back then
How old do you be that?
That's a funny question, yo.
Because it's like you had to have a purpose.
Because they was hot,
that's
baby.
That's a good question.
50 Cent had that story about Puff. He was like, remember, I'll tell you that story that 50 was at the thing and Puff was behind him. He's like, Puff, why you around me all night? Then he's like, you the flame, baby. I got to stay near the flame.
But where did he come from?
So, all right. So, the story behind that is basically, you know, when we was first trying to get signed, after the Juvenile Hell deal,
right?
You know, when we regrouped, we revamped ourselves, we went in and created our style, our sound, and we was like, all right, it's time to get signed again. Let's go search for a deal. Puff was like our homeboy, like, you know what I'm saying? We knew Puff through, we had mutual friends, like, and Puff used to promote at this club called The Building and the Red Zone. These few clubs in Manhattan. He was like a party promoter,
right.
And he worked at Uptown MCA also. So. Puff used to, you know, he was feeling us. He was like, yo, man, I'm doing these parties. Come out to my parties and shit. So we used to always go to Puff parties, and, you know, we would be the littlest, youngest dudes in the party, like, you know what I mean? And, you know, Puff was feeling us, and he was like, yo, I'm starting this company called Bad Boy. He's like, I want y'all to be the first artist. I want to sign Mobb Deep. I want y'all to be the first artist on Bad Boy. So we were negotiating with him, and at the same time, we had an offer from Steve Rifkin at Loud.
Yep.
So we had two contracts on the table we were negotiating, and we just decided to run with, you know, the Loud deal. Right. You know what I mean? It was a little bit more money. They offered us a little bit more control, you know what I'm saying, over our music and career, so we just went with the Loud deal. And it's funny because, like, right after that, you know, Matty C and I think Mr. C or something like that brought Biggie over to Puff, and then he signed Biggie right after that. So it was like we would have been the first artists out on Bad Boy if we went with
But I remember during that time he popped up though. Wasn't there a rumor he was trying to manage you guys or something like that? I think he's still in Menace, right?
He was just trying to sign us to Bad Boy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Probably management too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he was just Puff was always cool. Like you know what I'm saying? So when we did the deal with Loud and we finally shot our video, he came.
Just rolled
came
up
to the video, like you know what I'm saying, to show love.
And that was shot right in Queensbridge, right?
Yeah, that was on the hill.
Right.
He pulled up in the limousine. He got out, started doing his dance with the Kango. I was like, oh shit.
This is like 95, right? So
that was 95.
So
yeah.
Craig Mack was popping, Big was popping.
Yeah, Puff is a good dude, man. He even put us on tour with Biggie and Craig Mack. They had the Big Mac tour at that time, like 94, 95. And he put us on tour. We used to open up for them.
Well, speaking of Survival the Fittest, that's got one of the most quoted opening lines, in rap history. There's a war going on outside. Like, talk about the power of that line, like in opening lines in rap, because a lot of those, attributed to you, and seem like the lyricism like that is still even celebrated in this era.
I mean, what made me write that line is just, the things we were going through. When we was young, it was just like a lot of beef in the neighborhood, a lot of shootings, you know what I mean? And so that's just how we felt when we walked out our door and we walked outside, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just always, like I said, we were always, like, on it. Like, we was on it, like, you know what I'm saying? So that was just natural, like, there's a war going on outside. Nobody's safe, you know what I'm saying?
And I saw something you were saying what a tough dude your pops was, and they sort of instilled a certain level of fearlessness into you, right? As a child.
Yeah, definitely. My pops was an ill dude, man. I miss him so much, man. He was a very unique individual. My father was a Green Beret, you know what I'm saying? He owned a dojo on Jamaica Avenue. He was like 3rd degree black belt, some craziness, and he was like gun happy. He loved guns.
Told you how to shoot when you was 7.
Yeah, he loved guns. We used to shoot birds in the park across the street from our crib. It was like mad dead birds in the park because we used to just sit there and shoot them shits all day. He was ill, man. You know what I'm saying? He was an ill dude. And not only that, he was like a computer genius. Like my pops was one of the first people to try out Windows for Bill Gates. I mean, Bill Gates, whoever his name is. You know what I'm saying? They gave it to my father to test. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he tested the system for them, and then told them like, this need to change or this need to change. Like this is in the 80s. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he was like just ill on many levels, like you know what I'm saying, and he was an ill dude, man.
Now, I just wanted to go piggyback off what you said earlier about opening lines. Like, not even besides that rhyme, in general, a lot of people credit you for having some of the best opening lines in rap history. What do you credit, not even necessarily to that song, but a lot of the joints that I could just think of off bat? I'll put my lifetime in between these papers lines. Like, what is it that makes a great opening line just to lead the people in? Like, what's that?
Man, it's just so important to me, like, the first thing that you hear is what, capture your attention. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I had it in my mind where I try to make every single line of the 16 bars that first line. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I try to do that. It doesn't work all the time, but I try to do that.
Keep your attention to
the entire verse. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just the first line. So I go in with that mentality though, like, all right, gotta say something crazy in the beginning, catch you and just keep that momentum going. Like, you know what I mean? And I guess it just happened naturally after a while.
Speaking of the growth, music-wise, to go back a little bit, like the growth from Juvenile Hell to Infamous was amazing. Like we had never really seen, to me, a group production-wise and lyric-wise improve so much. Like how did you have it get so much better in a short time? From if you listen to Juvenile Hell and you listen to Infamous,
you can't listen to them.
There's such level. There's such higher level of art.
Two different things. Completely, like two different animals, but a little bit the same. If you listen to the lyrics, you could tell you see us in there, but it's like we wasn't fully developed yet. Yeah. Like, what inspired that change is failure. You know what I'm saying? Being dropped from the label. When the album didn't do good. At the same time, when that album came out, like maybe midway, Nas dropped Illmatic, and that was like whoa.
Everything
Like, you know what I'm
focus on
saying?
that neighborhood. Yeah.
We was like, whoa, hold on. Hold up. That shit just embarrassed our album. Basically,
How
that was
many, how many
embarrassing.
months did Illmatic come out after Juvenile Hell? Do you kind of remember? Like
It
6
wasn't
months?
too
something
long.
like that?
It was around the same
Wow.
time. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
'Cause
Did
I
you-
remember we used to do in-stores, and they would play Illmatic in the store while we was doing the in-store before Juvenile Hell.
And you were just mad.
And me and Hav used to look at each other like, yo, you hear this shit? Like, yo, that shit was embarrassing us.
Wow.
Because we got to go back to the neighborhood. Everybody like, yo, nah, da, 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 da. Fuck y'all niggas just dropped. What the fuck is this, yo? That shit was like a joke, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, we got hit from the back.
Then the label dropped us. So it was like, all right, we were angry, we were embarrassed, and we was like, we felt like we had to show who we are. Like, you know what I mean? We had to show who we are, what we can bring to the table. Because when we got dropped, it felt like we lost our opportunity to be in the rap community, the hip hop community.
Even hold your head.
And
be in
that's
that room.
all we wanted to do with our life. You know what I'm saying? We dedicated our life to that. You know what I mean? But that really made us dedicate our life. When we got dropped and we seen that we almost lost everything, like people not fucking with us, we was like, nah, we got a story to tell. Like,
So
we got a serious story to tell.
So did you just lock yourself in the studio? Like how did it get better? Just
The number one thing was the production. Because when we was making Juvenile Hell, you know, I had bought some equipment and I was learning how to make beats, and I taught Hav how to use it and how to make beats. But we were still like, you know, in the beginning stages. We didn't get nice with it yet. So that was the Juvenile Hell album. We only made like a couple, maybe 2 or 3 of the beats on that album. Because we had just started making beats. Because all the producers that we wanted, they were too expensive. They were charging like $20,000, $10,000. Like, we don't got that type of bread. We young, 16, you know what I mean? They just signed us. We new artists. We ain't getting no $20,000 for no beat. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that made us create our own beats and do our own production. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't get real good at it. It took some time. You know what I'm saying? So by the time we got dropped and, you know, we already felt bad. We were embarrassed. Me and Hav was like, you know, the type of people we are, we like,
Too much pride,
We like, nah, you crazy? Like, nah, come on, son. Let's get in the studio. We didn't even come up for air.
Wow.
We would just be in the studio, working, eating rice with gravy on it. $2 rice and gravy from the Chinese restaurant.
Should have had the cookbook then.
And 40 ounces, like, that was it. That was our diet. Rice and gravy and 40 ounces.
So how did you come up with Shook Ones 2? Was that one of the first ones that felt like, because you had Shook Ones Part 1, but 2 is obviously a whole other level. Like, how did that record come about?
It was just like, it was just happened just naturally. Like, we wasn't trying to make a remix or anything like that. We just ended up saying like some of the same words, and we was like, fuck it, let's just call it Part 2. Like, you know what I mean?
All right.
Hav actually was making that beat in the crib. He was by himself in the crib in Queensbridge, because it was a time where we had all the equipment in my grandmother's crib in Hempstead and Long Island in the basement. That's where we learned how to use the equipment. That's where we, you know, that's where we honed our sound. That's where we created our sound at. And then we had the shit down there for like maybe a year or 2. And then we was like, yo, you know what? Let's change the scenery. Let's take the equipment and move it to Queensbridge. You know what I'm saying? So we took all the equipment, we moved it to Hav Mom's crib in Queensbridge. Just to get new, change the scenery, change the atmosphere. So, and we outside one day, me and all the boys outside just chilling. Hav upstairs in the room making beats. And I go up in the crib, see what Hav is doing. He got the Shook Ones beat playing. We like, yo, what's that, son? He's like, this is some bullshit. I'm about to race it and start a new one. We like, whoa, no, don't do that. That beat is fire, son. Yeah. He like, word, you like it? I'm like, yeah, son, you crazy, keep that, save that. You know? We had to make him save it. Like, he was about to erase it, like,
damn.
Because he makes so many beats like this, like, so it's like nothing to him, like, you know what I'm saying?
Glad he saved
Luckily, we caught him on that
word.
So when did Q-Tip get involved with the project?
So Q-Tip, we met Tip when we were in high school, and we created our demo. When I first met Hav, me and him created a demo, and we used to cut out of school and go around to all the labels and whatnot and just stand outside, you know what I'm saying, and wait for people to come in and out. And just, we had our headphones, little Walkman, like, yo, listen to our demo, please, you know what I'm saying? And Tip was the only one that stopped and listened to our songs. And he was like, yo, I like y'all, man. I'm gonna bring y'all in the office. I want to introduce y'all to some people. And he brought us in Def Jam, introduced us to Chris Lighty. That's when Chris was working for Rush Associated Labels, the management and all that. And Tip introduced us to Russell Simmons and Leo, and we tried to get signed to Def Jam. Leo said we were too hardcore for our age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, some big thing happened in Def Jam. Somebody got shot. Craziness.
Allegedly. Read that Prodigy book.
And then, after that, we got the deal over at Island, 4th and Broadway. Eventually, made that Juvenile Hell album. That shit got scrapped, dropped. We regrouped, started making the Infamous album. Got signed to, Loud. And we called Q-Tip. We was like, yo, what's up, man? We want to bring you in. We want some beats. You know what I'm saying? So he came and picked us up and brought us to his crib in Linden in Queens. And we were just in his crib.
He pulled up in the bridge and got you guys?
Yeah, he came and picked us up in his Beamer. He had a black, 5 Series or something like that back then. Came, picked us up, took us to Linden. We was chilling in his crib, just vibing, playing records and whatnot. And we would tell him what we like and what we don't like. So we was like, yeah, we like that one. We like that one right there. We like this one. So we picked about maybe 2-3 records or something like that he made. And then after we created the album, we called him again. Like, yo, we want you to tweak the album up. Add little things here and there, maybe a little snare, little thing here and there. So he, tweaked the whole project for us, you know what I'm saying? Hell yeah.
I always wanted to know, who do you pattern your style from? Because your rhyme style is very conversational. I see a lot of rappers do it today. So I always want to know, where do you, because a lot of rhymes don't even rhyme, but it has a feel to it that just goes. So, where did you develop that style from?
I mean, growing up, my favorite rapper was, Rakim and KRS-One, just like the storyteller. I love those, the ill storytellers. So, when I started making music myself, that's where my inspiration came from. So, we always borrow from something, you know what I mean? So I guess I'll borrow from Rakim and BDP and all, my favorite rappers and whatnot, and just add my own flavor to it. And then, coming up also, as as I got older, around 95, 96, I listened to a lot of Wu-Tang, you know what I'm saying? And Nas, obviously, and, Q-Tip and Choco Quest. And, the influence just came from all of that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of those brothers helped me to become a better writer,
So you're part of this group, though. You're making these great albums, and then you decide it's time to make that solo album. I'm sure a lot of people's in your ear. Talk about that, going into that mind state of making HNIC, and what was going on at that time. That it was time for you to kind of step out and make your own album.
So the reason why that happened is because me and Hab straight workhorses when it comes to making music, non-stop records. We got thousands and thousands of songs that never even came out yet. You know what I'm saying? They're just in the computer, in the hard drive. We look at it like our bank vault. You know what I'm saying? It's like the savings account. We got
lost
a lot
files,
of shit. Yeah.
The lost tapes.
So, doing all of that and working so much and having so many songs, I was like, hold up. I took a cue from Wu-Tang. I seen how many checks they was getting. They were getting a Wu-Tang check, then Method Man was getting a check, then Raekwon was getting a check. I'm like, hold up. We can break this up and get some more checks, son. We get a Mobb Deep check and get a Prodigy check in between the next Mobb Deep album. We can get a half check. We can, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's time for us to expand.
That's where that came from.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
So Hab was with it. Everything was
hell yeah. At first, there was a lot of people probably in Hab ear, yo, P going solo. Yo, P ain't fucking with you no more.
Yeah.
Never that. That was never in my mind, ever. Not even a little bit. You know what I'm saying? The only reason I did that was for what I just said.
But this is also at the same time, you're kind of multitasking because you're working on murder music, correct?
Right.
Wow. So how were you focused on working on that album and your solo joint? You just had stockpiling records?
You know what? At that time, I could attribute it to me eating right. I changed my diet at that time. Around 96, 97. I changed my entire life.
Oh, that's right.
I stopped smoking. I stopped smoking weed. I stopped drinking. I stopped eating certain foods, and I felt it. When you do that, after a while, you know what I'm saying, when you really taking care of your health and eating real healthy and really strict discipline with it, you could feel a difference mentally. You know what I'm saying? Your mind, it thinks like this. Your mind starts moving real sharp, and everything, it just falls into
You
place.
feel creatively sparked.
Yeah, it's like you receive your blessings from the universe. Once you clean yourself out and start just doing the right thing, everything falls in place for you, and you could do so many things at once. Like it was an amazing feeling to feel that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I was able to do so much. It felt great.
So even with Keep It Thorough, of course, has no chorus. Was there any resistance? And that was the single, which is like one of the best without a hook. Like, was there any resistance to putting that out from the powers that be?
The only person that said something about that was Chris Lighty. He was like, "Yo, P, this is a dope song, but I'm telling you, it needs a chorus." I'm like, no, that's the whole
That's the point.
point of the song. Is like, there's no chorus on it, yo. He's like, no, I'm telling you, this could be a hit on the radio. I'm telling you, just trust me, I know what I'm talking about. So I'm like, all right, we could try that. So we did like a version where Had did the chorus.
Oh, wow.
And it just didn't work. It didn't pop off. Like, Chris was like, I was wrong. I stand corrected. Word.
And Chris was also the one that told you about the Quiet Storm controversy, correct?
Yeah, so Quiet Storm was a record that I made for HNIC, for the HNIC album.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And actually, Quiet Storm was, when I first made the record, I gave it to Clue. You know what I'm saying? And just put on the mixtapes and whatnot. So Clue just went crazy with it.
You just had like a verse on there, right? Just one verse.
Nah, I think it was like 2 verses.
Okay.
But it was just like super rough.
Yeah.
And I just put it out there, you know what I mean? And Clue like pressed up vinyl and was playing it in the club. I was in the tunnel one night and it came on. I was bugging and everybody was like rocking to it.
They knew it already, yeah.
I was like, yo, this is crazy, yo. I just made the song like a couple weeks ago. Like, what the hell? So that was the first time I ever seen that. So then from there, the record just like, after about a year, you know what I'm saying? A year or two, because I put it out early. So about a year or two, that's when we put Little Kim on it and did a remix to it. After it was already rocking for 2 years, like on the street.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason why we did that is because the song got so hot and Mobb Deep needed a single for the next album. And Chris was like, yo, what's up with this record you got here, man?
Yeah.
I'm like, this for my solo album. He was like, yo, listen, give that to Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep need a single, and that's rocking right now. And I was like, come on, man, that's my song.
I like your version better. I know everyone loves Little Kim, but I like your version better than the remix. And that joint is hot too, but just something about your shit.
Thanks.
Even the video too, like the visual, like, can you talk about that? It looked like it cost a couple dollars.
Yeah, damn, gotta forgive me, I forgot the dude's name that did the video. He was pretty dope. But we shot it out in Cali. It was like a movie style type of video.
Right.
We definitely spent some budget money making that. But yeah, man, it was like a.
It's like patterned from a movie, though,
almost
right?
like I'm trying to remember what movie we jacked it from. Something like Negotiator or like Die Hard. It was like some Die Hard elements in there, like something like that. But yeah, the record started popping, started blowing up. Chris was like, "Yo, listen, get this to Mobb Deep." So I fought it for a little while. Then Hav was like, "Yo, son, what's up, man? We need that." I'm like, all right, here. I'm like, all right, here. So then, Hav did a verse on it.
Yeah.
And then Jonathan Lighty, Chris's brother, was like, "Yo, let's put a female on it. We should put Kim on it."
Yeah.
And we was like, "Yo, that's a good idea. Let's call up and give it to her." So then she got on it, and that shit just gave that shit wings. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
You knew right away when she sent that her verse was killer and it was gonna take
hell
verse?
yeah, immediately. You know what I mean? I was there when she wrote the verse.
Oh, so you guys were together?
Yeah,
okay.
we went because I went to the studio when she was doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Mobb Deep shows after Kim got on that song, it was so many females started coming to our show. But before that, it was all like Mobb Deep,
All the duns.
the rough kids coming to the Mobb Deep
200
show.
guys in the front.
Yeah. As soon as we put Kim on the record, everything changed.
Wow.
The girls started coming to the show. And we was like, whoa, this is ill. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Speaking of girls in videos, I remember when besides the J beef, which was popular at the time, when you made the Infamy album, you caught a lot of heat when you did the Hey Love video with 112 because you guys had ladies in the video.
Man.
You was romancing the ladies. You was kissing the ladies. Like back then, everybody couldn't take it. It was like, yo, Mobb Deep doing some girl man shit. They kissing women on the mouth for these videos.
Nigga, that was you. I love that song.
No, you wasn't in the hip hop industry at the time.
I was in high school. That shit was hot.
True.
You caught heat. Pete, tell him you caught some heat in the industry for that, man.
Super heat for that, man. Only thing that saved me was that was my wife in the video. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I got away with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? What you talking about? That's my wife, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just for making a song with 112, and making a song that's targeted for a female audience, there was like so much hatred for that.
You supposed to just diss Jay-Z on every song.
It was like super hatred, like, and actually that 112 record got more radio play than Quiet Storm and Shook Ones.
Wow.
Like that got the most radio.
So that's like the most radio played
Yeah.
Mobb Deep song.
Yeah, Hey Love.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
It seems also too with the Mobb Deep albums, even in your solo joint, y'all have embraced the South. Like you had 8 Ball, I think it was on Murder Music.
Yeah.
Then you had BG on YV, Young Black Entrepreneurs. What was that y'all brainchild, just to pull from different regions and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely. We were always trying to like do something different. Like we ain't really want to, do what everybody else was doing. So we was like, yo, let's try to get somebody that nobody would expect you to have on the song. Like and 8 Ball, that came from Jonathan Lighty too. Jonathan was like, yo, we should get 8 Ball. We should get somebody from the South, get 8 Ball. We was like, oh, that's an ill idea. You know what I mean? So we went down there to Switch House, that studio they got down there, and knocked it out. Bun B was actually there at the session. He was just chilling.
Wow.
He was just in there chilling, smoking weed. And that was like our first time meeting him. So he was like, yo, Mobb Deep, fuck with y'all. Y'all got that burnt biscuit sound. That's that. He was like, yo, that's that ice pick sound. Yo, that's that burnt biscuits. I'll never forget he said that.
But y'all remember BG on your album though was huge though.
Young Black Entrepreneurs.
When the Cash Money came out and they was rocking with the Hot Boys and all that, I was a super Cash Money fan. Like the whole New Orleans movement. Like even No Limit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was a super fan of theirs, you know what I'm saying? I bought all they shit, like Silk the Shaka, all of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was feeling their movement down there, you know what I mean? And but especially, Cash Money and the Hot Boys and BG had the ill voice to me. Like his voice was mad dark and like grimy, so I was like, yeah, I want to do a song with him because it kind of remind me of like my voice when I'm rapping on the song. Like so, I basically reached out to Baby because I used to always see them in the industry. So I reached out to Baby, and we knocked it out.
Yeah, because back then, they wasn't doing a lot of outside features.
They really weren't.
Nah.
So Baby was running a tight ship with that. He wasn't.
And he definitely charged me a lot of bread, too. He's like, oh, you want the video, too? Yeah, that's another check.
Playboy.
Playboy.
We got you, Wody. We got you. Well, send that bread over, Wody. We got you.
Well, people say at that time, man, you was like that. You was the hottest rapper in the game. Yeah, HNIC. What does it feel like to be that top guy, like that era? You got the group going. You're in a great group, and now you're on your own. And
honestly, I never felt like that. Like, you know what I mean? I just was trying to just do my thing. You know what I mean? And I always looked at other rappers like, they was way better than me. Like that's how I just look at it. The game. I used to just look at rappers like, damn, he's nice, or he's nice, or you know what I mean? I said, I gotta get nice like that. Yeah. And then my friends used to be like, what you talking about, son? Like, you the illest. I'm like, nah, you bugging, man. I don't like that mentality. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to get caught up in that. You know what I mean? Like, egotistical mentality. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So you didn't feel like you were competing with the Nas's and Jay-Z's?
I mean, to tell you the truth, when I'm sitting there writing my verse, hell yeah. You know what I mean? When I'm sitting there actually writing the verse, I'm competing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think I'm better than everybody. You know what I mean? But, that's just during the writing process. But when it's done, it's like, I don't feel like that.
So you never wanted that stardom and fame, that type of level, I guess, right? Or that.
I mean, everybody wants that. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody wants to win and be the number one. Once you in the game and making music, like, you know what I mean? But I definitely got to a position where I was like, I'm good right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like this crowd we got. I like this audience. You know what I'm saying? I like the style of music that we make. We don't really have to switch it up. We don't have to go too far. Like, Hey Love was about as far as we're going to go. And that's like still grimy edge to it. but it's like we're not really trying to go crazy pop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We want to keep it a certain way, like
So
Mobb Deep. You know
what was
I
on
mean?
your mind when you were making that verse for Cam, losing weight? That's like one of my favorite joints too.
Man, I was in the studio and Cam and Jim Jones was in the same studio like down the hall, and I went to go say what's up to them and meet them, and this is before Dipset and all that, like, you know what I'm saying? Cam was like, yo, I fuck with Mobb Deep. He was like, yo, look, he showed me his tattoo. He got Dipset. He was like, yo, I started Dipset because of y'all. Like, he was like, you know what I mean? That's my version of Mobb. Like, that's my crew. Like, I'm like, wow, that's what's up, man. And, you know, we was kicking it, and we ended up doing a song that night. You know what I mean? And we just got mad cool. And then we were actually on tour together. There was a Source tour at that time, right around that time, and it was Nori, DMX, Cameron, and myself. And we were just like having fun on tour every night. Oh, Charlie Baltimore was on that tour too. Yeah, it was just, we got cool on that whole tour. Like, that's how me and Nori got real cool too. You know what I'm saying? Just being on that tour. Word.
It seems like the albums too also been a launching pad for 9 other rap crews. Like you got Infamous Mobb, there's a lot of people to, to keep a track of. Was that always been like the game plan? Like you got Twin Gambino, you got Pacino. It's like,
yeah, I mean, in the beginning, it was like we had a crew just of friends, that was always around us. Like our tight, immediate crew, was like, Twin, Gotti, Chinky, Godfather, Diddy. You know what I'm saying? that was our crew, like from the block, like, you know what I'm saying? And we used to go everywhere together, like, so Noid, you know what I mean? And some of them, we made them rap. Like, Noy used to have little verses. Noy was a hustler. He outside hustling, making bread. And he had this one verse, like he would always say. Hey, yo, Noy, spit your verse, son. He outside spitting his verse. We used to be like, yo, we gotta get you in the studio, my nigga. He like, nah, come on, I ain't no rapper, man. I'm out here doing my thing. We had to make Noy.
wow.
Like,
crazy.
go in the studio, make Noy. Like, yo, son,
It wasn't his verse on Give Up the Goods, right?
Nah. He had some verse. I don't even remember the verse he used to say, but it was like, it was some ill verse. He was like, kneel down on one knee, buckle. Like, he was saying something ill. And we used to always love that verse. So we actually made Noy go in the studio and create, like, yo, son, you gotta rap, my nigga. Like, you nice. You don't have to hustle.
And then he
my
went to
nigga.
Tommy Boy, man, on the side. He was a little tight over there,
Yeah,
right?
we was a little tight, but it was all good. He wasn't that mad at him. Like, they was offering him some bread, so we was like, all right, cool.
That song was classic, man. You put Queens back on the map with the Queens Get the Money, long time
man.
no cash,
He killed
man.
that verse, the R-A-double-P.
Of course.
N-O-Y-D. He was like, yo, Noy was ill, man. Noy is like, to this day, like, we bring him out for the show. Sometimes he come on the road with us, and his energy is just so, like, we call him, his nickname is Dynamite. That's what we call him. He's like, yo, Dynamite, what up, son? Because he get on that stage, and his energy is through the roof. He had a whole crowd going crazy, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He just bring the energy up so much, you know what I'm saying? Word. So, and then, you got, like, Twin Gambino and everybody. It's like the same thing.
Yeah,
it wasn't rappers, like.
Also,
you know
just the
what
way you guys developed Alchemist, to become one of the top producers. Like, talk about that connection. Like, here, you already have a great production partner, but then Alchemist becomes his own monster.
Yeah, Al, man, he was, he was down with Cypress Hill crew. He was on the road with them all the time. And, we had started doing some work with Muggs. Because Muggs had these albums he was working on, Soul Assassin projects. And, that's how we met Al, you know what I mean? And then Al came to the studio one day, Twin brought him through, and Twin was like, yo, my man, he make beats. I was like, all right, play something, man. Soon the first beat he played, I was like, yeah, that one. Come on. Put it in. We're recording it right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, this kid is ill.
What song was that?
It was The Realest with Coogee Rap.
Oh,
on the
okay.
Murder Music
Boom,
album.
boom,
right.
Man, that was the first beat I ever heard from Al.
Wow.
I was like, yo, yeah, we using it.
I love When You Hear The on America's Nightmare. That's dark. That's just like.
Oh yeah, that was another idea. I was watching Scarface one day. I seen every time he would get mad, you would hear that. I was like, oh, we need to use that. Come on, son, get in the studio. We got another one.
And underrated that Albert Einstein album you guys did. I think that's like your most recent, really strong, great album.
Yeah, that was my last solo album, basically. You know what I mean? That was the last solo album I put out. Yeah, that one right there was like super hardcore. You know what I mean? That was like my shit. I love that album.
We can't talk about Al without talking about Mac 10 Handle, man, and that whole Return of the Mac project.
Man.
Talk about going into that.
So Al was like, man, when Al came into the picture, you know what I'm saying? He just like, he stepped the level up because he had a mixture of LA and mixed with his New York influence, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, just mixture combined, and it just sounds like futuristic. Like Al beats sound crazy futuristic, you know what I mean? And
but have that authenticity of New York.
Yeah, it got
bottom,
the ground,
yeah.
but it's like, he's on the next level with it, you know what I mean? So, you know, I noticed that right away, and I was just like, yo, man, I was just sticking to him like glue. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to rap on every single beat you got. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we just started working a lot and just working on projects, and yeah, man, you know, we made that Return of the Mac album, and we just been on a roll.
You changed the game with the Mac 10 Handle, that visual and the whole.
Yeah, so basically that album was actually you know, like an experimental type of album. We was like trying to, you know, make a like the 70s feel. It has like a 70s feel to it.
Consistent.
And when it came to do the visuals, I hollered at my man Dan the Man. He was working for 50. He did 50's whole Massacre visual DVD.
Yep.
So we were on the road at that time, and I was with Dan every day on tour. He was like videotaping on tour and everything. So me and Dan used to kick it. And he was like, yo, when we get back, we gotta do a video together, son. He was like, yeah. So we got back, we put our heads together. I was like, yo, listen, we need to do something like, cause I'm a fan of like Rob Zombie, his movies, The Devil's Rejects. Like, I really like how grimy that is, just the look of it. Like, it's real grimy and it's like crazy, and it's like, it has a lot of shock value, like craziness. And I wanted to apply that to a music video, you know what I mean? Because it kind of matches my style of rapping, like in the music. So I was like, yo, let's take that type of look, that shocking, crazy, violent look, and let's make a video like that. And let's put the video out before people even hear the song.
Yeah.
Like, we dropped the video first.
I remember
before
that.
we even put the song out, you know what I'm saying? So when we uploaded the video, yo, that shit went viral like quick. I was like shocked. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, we got a lot of views with that video, like early, like, you know what I mean? It's like when YouTube like first started,
it was
like,
super
you know what I mean?
Yeah, Beat, I was saying earlier that you don't get the credit for a lot of being at the forefront of that type of stuff.
It seems like you were at the forefront for a lot of new media and like technology and things like that. Even like on Diamonds, you talk about infamousstores.com and shit like that.
I mean, we were like on the internet heavy, you know what I mean? Early when, a lot of that come from being at Loud. I used to be in the art department, and every album that we did, you know, I would sit there with the art department like, all right, this is how we want the cover to look.
Yeah.
I used to sit there
real
with
hands-on.
Yeah, and design it with them. Even the videos, everything, I was hands-on with it. So I used to sit in the art department, and we used to come up with these concepts of how we could promote the album. And when it was actually the Hell on Earth album, we did this thing called the enhanced CD. And you put it in your computer, and you could actually like move things around and you click on the cover. And it got like hidden things you click on. So that was the way sparked my interest. And like, that's when the internet like first started. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that kind of sparked my interest of the things that we could do using the internet to promote the projects. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then we just started. After that, I would carry a camera around and I would just videotape everything, and we used to put out these DVDs, you know what I mean, on the street, just like bullshitting, smoking weed in the studio, like driving around bugging. I used to be bugging though. I used to do dumb shit like that. Pulling my gun out while I'm in the car driving, like stupid shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there wasn't no blueprint for what you're supposed to not do.
Do you miss doing stupid shit?
Nah, not at all, yo, not at all. I was mad young and dumb. Like, I look at that shit now and cringe. I'm like, yo, what the fuck was I thinking? What did I do that for? Like,
I was just saying, does it bug you out that you guys survived all this? Like, you brought so much heat and drama your way, but you guys both survived it. Like,
yeah, man. I mean, it's just like, you know, we seen a lot of people, you
seen
know,
it all, been through it all,
lose their life, and you know what I mean. We've been through a lot. We've been through a lot, and a lot of the older dudes from Queensbridge, like a lot of the hustling niggas that was out there really doing it, they wouldn't let me and Half do certain shit. They would just be like, nah, come here, sit down. what the fuck is you doing? Why you outside? It's 3 in the morning. Like, what are you doing with these niggas? Why you out here drinking and shit? Like, y'all niggas, you and Have got music. Y'all niggas make music. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stick to that shit. Y'all really good at it, man. I don't want to see you out here getting in trouble. Like, they used to, you know, keep us grounded and keep us focused. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, you know. And I took all those lessons and just, you know, I learned from it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And just seeing, you know, a lot of my friends get killed. A lot of my friends, different things happen, get locked up, doing life. Like, you know what I mean? You know, that just kept us with a mentality to stay out of trouble, you know what I mean, as much as possible. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And stay safe. Yeah. Like, be safe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to get caught up slipping and you won't be here no more.
Yeah. But it was such a unique music connection and partnership. Like, you guys from the beginning knew you wanted to do this and you wanted to be, one of the greatest groups and one of the greatest duos. Like, talk about that dedication of it. Like, even when recently you've had dramas and it plays out in public and people think Mobb Deep's breaking up, like, you guys always tend to work it out and figure it out and keep going.
Yeah, our main thing with Mobb Deep is we always said that we want to be, they asked us, what do you want to be remembered for? And we always say we want to be remembered as, you know, our consistency. Like, we lasted a very fucking long time. Like, that's what we want our legacy to be. We want to be able to, people to be able to say, like, damn, they lasted a long time. Like, a lot of people came and went, fell off or whatever, but y'all kept consistent with the sound, Mobb Deep, like, you know what I mean? Like, every album, and y'all kept going. Y'all didn't stop, you know what I mean? And that's our mentality. That's just been always our mentality. Like, and so anything that we go through, if me and Had going through arguments or anything like that, it always goes right back to, all right, well, look, we got about close to $1 million worth of shows coming up next year. You want to go on the road and get this bread or not, yo? You know what I'm saying? Not only that, but once we get to the show and we see how packed it is, and they came out to see us, but me and Javi backstage, like, you see this shit, my nigga? Like, it don't stop. Like, we're able to still be here and do shows, like, and our music is not even on the radio anymore. Yeah. Like, our style of music is not popping on the radio anymore. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But we could still pack a whole venue with thousands of people and doing festivals and doing all of this shit. Yeah. So it's like, we look at each other like, yo, damn, look at this shit. It's a blessing. Look, we're able to still be here, rocking, doing what we love, doing, and making bread and, you know, having fans and just being comfortable, feeding our families, paying bills. Like, we good. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But it helps you keep the camaraderie, because you have some groups that just meet on stage. Like, they don't fuck with each other, they meet each other on stage and then go their separate ways.
Yeah, they ain't been through what me and Had been through. Like, we've been through some shit together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like niggas been through some shit. Like, there's no way I could look at Had and not love him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been through too much. We've been through too much shit. Like, so it's just like, it's an unbelievable, like, amount of shit that we've been through. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and survived. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I want to talk about some Mobb Deep first, right? So you're the first one, I think, to bring conspiracy theories to hip hop with the I Shot Ya shit like that.
I wouldn't say the first to bring conspiracy theories, but maybe I might be in the first. I think I am the first to say Illuminati.
Absolutely.
In the song, in hip hop.
That's just been sampled so many times and flipped, reversed. Even Jay used it.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, I'm saying even Jay used it, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Right.
I was reading a lot, you know, when we was in high school, there was like, you know, back then it was popular, even in Long Island, especially in Long Island where I'm from, in Hempstead, like the Guards and the Earths, that's what it was. Like, niggas outside hustling, selling crack, but they the Guards, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Allah, Shah Allah, like, you know what I'm saying? These are the older dudes on the block, you know what I'm saying, with the big chains and whatnot. And, you know, these are the dudes I used to look up to. And they used to be like, yeah, shorty, what up, shorty, da-da-da. I used to be like, yo, teach me that shit, like, you know what I'm saying? And they used to be like, all right, you got to get a guard body name. You got to pick a name first. You got to study 120, you know what I'm saying? So it made me want to read, you know what I'm saying? Like, the 120 and seeing the Guards and the Earths and, like, you know, Rakim, like, his influence with that. And it made, and, you know, BDP, KRS-One, it made me want to learn. It made me want to read. So in high school, you know, I had a little crew of friends. We used to cut out of school and go to the library in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Right on Eastern Parkway. And we used to go to the library in Manhattan and we used to just research. You know what I'm saying? Research books and just be reading the 120 and researching what the 120 was saying. Right. We like research to see if it's true. You know what I'm saying? Research this, read that. But then I just started reading, learning. And then once you read that much about the world and history, you're gonna bump into the Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna bump into a lot of different information like that. So that's where that came from. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of the research, I did some research. I think, is Getaway the first rap song that uses the sample you talking back to it? Because I can't remember that happening before Getaway.
Oh, yeah. I believe so.
On the Infamy
That's
album?
funny. I didn't think of it that way. I just used to love that sample.
The
I was
sample's
like, damn.
Because after that, the next like big record like that was Oh Boy. Dipset.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
probably
saying?
the most known doing that style.
Yeah.
That song, yeah.
I think, Have is ill. Have created that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that style, going back and forth with the beat.
Right.
Have created a lot of styles, yo, that
Yeah, talk
people
about
might
that.
not
He's still
know about.
underrated as a producer, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's underrated as a writer, as a rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I always felt when you guys first came out, the focus was kind of more on him in the beginning. Am I wrong? Like in Juvenile Hell, I felt like he.
on Juvenile Hell, you know, I had my own style of rapping. Like, I actually had a deal before I even met Have. I was signed to Jive. To a demo deal. They signed me.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And
As what? What was your name?
on the Golden Child.
Wow.
I was the Golden
No
Child.
pressure.
right?
No pressure.
So anyway, I was signed to Jive, and you know, having that
Barry
deal.
White signed you?
I don't even remember who was on me, but I having that deal up at Jive, I used to be up there kicking it with the ladies at the front desk and whatnot. You know what I mean, flirting with them. And one of the ladies was like, "Yo, I like you, cool. I'm gonna bring you back. They're working on this soundtrack for Boys in the Hood. You know, I think you should be on it. You know what I mean?" So I went back there, I did a little song, and I actually got on the soundtrack for Boys in the Hood. They actually like played my verse in the movie. Like, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And so I did.
What scene is that?
That's when in the beginning of the movie, they playing dominoes, like in the backyard. They having like a barbecue.
okay.
And that's me rapping.
But it's not in the
background.
soundtrack. It's just in the movie.
It's in the movie and it's on the sound.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah. It's a song called Too Young with High Five. Man, that R&B
Oh,
group
okay.
High Five.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kissing game and all that shit.
Yeah, hell yeah. So I had got on the song and it just so happened to make the movie. So all of that happened before I even met Have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I met Have and, you know, we put it together. We was like, nah, we a group, fuck that. I was feeling something. Like, you know what I'm saying? We gonna make this a group. And Job was like, yo, we want to sign you, but we don't want to sign your partner. I was like, all right, I'm out then. Fuck y'all.
Wow.
Word.
Wow. I'm glad they, you switched the script.
Because Have was so ill to me. Like, when I first met Have, he had a different style. Like, his style was different. Like, his neighborhood is different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Queensbridge is like his own planet. You know what I mean? So Have like had this particular style. You know what I'm saying? And I was feeling that. I was like, yeah, I like Son's style. Like, he's an ill dude. Like, you know what I mean? And the way he rapped and just, you know, everything.
You felt it complimented
everything.
your style? Like,
Yeah. I wanted to learn. You know what I mean? I wanted to learn. I wanted to become a better rapper. And he was like the perfect mentor for that. You know what I mean? Because Have style was so ill. You know what I mean? So in the beginning, he wrote some of those songs on Juvenile Hell. He wrote some of my verses, like, you know what I'm saying, on the Peer Pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He wrote that whole song.
Wow.
Like, when I first met Have, the first day we met, we went to his crib in Ravenswood, and that was the first song he showed me that he had written out already.
Peer Pressure. Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is ill. I started reading it. He was like, yo, yeah, you should say the second verse, I'll say the first verse. I was like, all right, cool, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then just being around him, I just became a better writer. You know what I'm saying? My style, you know, started progressing. You know what I mean? And I just got better.
Yeah.
Because I was always trying to impress Have and
That
my
was the
new
first
friends.
audience,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I wanted to be better. I wanted to be a dope writer.
Do you remember the first verse you wrote that you felt was kind of now at that level that you was proud?
Probably like it was a song that didn't come out. It was on a demo. It was a song called Patty Shop.
Oh yeah, Patty Shop. That's out there. People
Yeah.
can find it. It lives out there. Stretch and Bob used to play that one, right?
Yeah, they used to play it on the radio a lot. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I don't remember that record. I gotta look that up.
It's
A
on
song
YouTube.
called Patty Shop. That was when we got dropped from Island and we had to regroup.
Yeah, that was one of the first songs they threw out of like the new.
We had to make a
Mobb
new
Deep,
demo.
yeah.
That was a song off our new demo tape. And I feel like that rhyme is when something just clicked in my head and I was like, oh, okay, I got this shit now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What else was on the demo besides Patty Shop? Do you remember?
Shook Ones Part 1, Patty Shop. Damn, I can't really remember
Yeah.
a lot of Flavor for the Non-Believes. I can't really remember too many of the names, but yeah, those are.
Because we were talking about that we had Clark Kent, the importance of a demo. Like you had to have a demo to get a deal, pretty much.
Yeah, man. And yo, and when we got signed to Loud, and we started going to Cali, messing with Bigger B. Bigger B used to work for Loud, promoting
Cali,
all the
right?
artists in Cali. Yeah. So we went out there, was with Bigger B, and he used to take us around all the clubs, the stores, doing in-stores, and just, getting our name known in Cali. We would meet people, and they'd be like, yo, Mobb Deep, I got y'all demo tape. They had our demo tape. Like, the fans out in Cali had our demo tape. That was amazing to me. I was like, yo, he got our demo tape. He knows songs off our demo. How the fuck does that happen? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That was incredible to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that was cassettes back then. Like,
But why did you go with Loud? And speaking of Loud, you be part of something. I mean, obviously then they had Wu-Tang and Big Pun. Like, talk about that era, what that was like. And I guess a lot of artists, we'd be up at the label a lot too, right? All the artists would be up there a lot too, right?
yeah, so I mean, when we got signed to Loud, they only had Wu-Tang. They just signed Wu-Tang. They had the Alcoholics, I believe, and they did a deal with PMD from EPMD. And they was just like a cubicle in the RCA building. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't even have their own office yet. Steve was trying to build the label, so we was feeling the control that he gave us. He was like, yo, I like y'all style. I just want y'all to go in the studio, do what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to change anything that y'all do. That's what made us really like Loud. You know what I mean? So after a while, when we started putting out music and we put out some good records and it was successful, we would be up at the label all the time just hanging out. And, that they had just signed Pun right after the Infamous. Pun got signed, so we used to see Pun up there and Raekwon and RZA and used to be in the label all the time. You know what I mean? So we were like young kids. I would go there just to hang out, smoke weed with Maggie C, like, you know what I'm saying? Just chilling. But then I would be watching Raekwon and them, they be coming up there serious. You know what I mean? They a little older than us, like, they come up there serious. They having serious meetings, going in the office. So I remember one day, we outside, and Ray and Ghost is outside, and they pulled me to the side. They was like, yo, man, you gotta come up here, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get in these niggas' head. You gotta get in their ear, man, about y'all shit. Make sure y'all stay on top of y'all shit, man. You gotta do this, you gotta do that, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of money you can get, like, you know what I mean? And they was like schooling me, like, to go to the office every day and make sure that each department, like the radio department, video department, like make sure you cool with these people.
You would just hear about that the artists would always be just up there.
Hey, they was like, I learned that from Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? Just to go up there and, have relationships with each department.
Promo person and everything. Yeah.
Like, just have real relationships with these people, so it's like what's going on with your project. Like, you know what I'm saying? That you know how the industry works and how a record company functions. Like, you know what I'm saying? All the moving parts of the company. And so if something goes wrong or if something ain't right, you know how to fix it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. So I learned a lot from watching them because they were so about their business. Like, seriously on it. I never seen nothing like that. That was ill how they was on it. Like, they thought they had Woo-Wear, they had, you know what I'm saying? All kinds of deals happening. I told you they had Meth had a solo deal. No Dirty had a solo deal.
Getting bags from other labels at the same time.
I was like, yo, these dudes are the illest. Like, you know what I'm saying? I learned a lot watching them. Word. I learned a lot watching them.
Touching on relationships, I saw recently that you and True Life made amends, man. How did that come about?
Yeah, so even before True Life had got locked up, we had a couple of conversations. You know what I'm saying? And we had kind of deaded that already years ago. But I got a call from my homie Ron Artez. He called me one night. He was like, yo, I'm with True Life. In the studio, yo, come hang out. So I'm like, all right, bet. So we went. I ain't seen him since he been home. So that was my first time seeing him, and I was just like, welcome home, man. And he was like, fuck all that shit, man. That shit's in the past, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we just chopped it up.
Right.
Cool, brother. Word.
What's your relationship like with Nas these days?
I don't really speak to Nas too much, but I love him, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I look up to Nas as far as like being as a writer. Yeah. Like, he's the illest to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love Nas, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't got nothing bad to say about that dude, man.
Yeah, we got credit Illmatic for lighting the fire under them.
I fuck with his artists too, Dave East. Like, I like Dave East shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me and him got a couple joints that we did and shit. I fuck with Nas though, man. You know what I'm saying? I love that dude. He's like the Phantom for real. You gotta catch him if you can. Like, you know what I'm saying? Word. Nas is never around. He's hard to catch, son. Word. I would love to sit down and have a conversation and build and do some more music with son. I'm sure that'll happen eventually. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It seems like just Queensbridge has got so many different personalities. Sometimes you guys are on, then you're off, then
a lot of it has to do with, you know, people in the crew, friends in the crew. It's not even the artist directly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, me and Nas had a little thing because, you know, a couple dudes in his team didn't like me and we had a falling out. So it was like, you know, everybody was guilty by association type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But me and him never had it personal. And we had a conversation about that too. It was like, you know, it was never about me and you. You know what I'm saying? It was always like somebody from my team didn't like somebody over there, or somebody in that team didn't like me, or some bullshit. Like, it's all bullshit. Like, cause these dudes, like, these same dudes, it's like, where they at now? Like, you know what I'm saying? We the ones making the music, we the ones touring and got the business. Like, why are we beefing over some irrelevant niggas? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Was it always a coincidence? I always wanted to know this in the Mac 10 handle video. Looking at the mirror and, you know, it's the flashes. You see the devil, then you see like that Nas look-alike, or was it just?
Oh, nah.
Oh, okay.
That's just my homie. That's my homie Rome from Queens. He just so happened to look. He just so happened to look like. I didn't even notice that until people started saying that on the comments. It was like, yo, is that Nas? I was like, oh shit, he do kind of look like Nas. Word.
Oh, okay. I remember you said when you got out of jail, you call everybody you had a problem with and just squashed it. Like,
yeah, man, because that shit is all bullshit.
Capital peace for peace.
You know, I sat in there, man. I sat in that fucking cell, man, and I just thought about my life and everything. And I thought about conversations that I would have with different people, like, you know, 50, and just a lot of the people around me that would always have positive conversations and positive things to tell me, man. Like, you know what I mean, stay away from this, stay out of trouble, do this, do that. And it was like I listened, but I didn't apply it. Like, you know what I mean? So I sat in jail and I'm sitting there thinking about all this. I'm like, damn, I feel like an asshole. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm 33 years old, you know what I'm saying, getting locked up, doing 3 years for some bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I should have got locked up when I was a kid. It took them a long time to finally catch me and lock my ass up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sitting in there like, damn, man. Like, I'm just thinking about all my choices in life and how I got here and what put me here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just thinking about, like, damn, why am I beefing with all these, you know, artists in the industry? Like, it's like my coworkers.
Right.
Like, your artists are like your coworkers in the workspace. So you, like, there's gonna be festivals, there's gonna be tours, there's gonna be different things where you gotta deal with these people. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, why am I creating all this friction with people that I gotta deal with all the time? Like, you know what I'm saying? I got enough problems with people that just don't like us. You know what I'm saying? The jealousy in the hood and people that want to do stuff to us because they just jealous. You know what I'm saying? We gotta deal with that already. So it's like, I don't want to beef with people who I work with. You know what I'm saying? My coworkers.
Right.
And that's what I started thinking, like, you know what? I'm dead. I don't even give a fuck if I started it, who started it, who gives a fuck? Like, it's over. Right. You know what I'm saying? That whole shit is over for me. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's completely my back is against the wall, you put me in the corner, and I don't got no choice. Like, that's a different story. But it's petty nonsense, man. A lot of it is just like, you know, everybody sticking their chests out, bravado. That shit is corny, man. Like, you know what I mean? I'm older than that. I'm wiser than that. So I came home and I just started reaching out to everybody, man. Anybody I had a problem with, anybody I said something negative about, I just reached out to them and I apologized to them. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, I feel like an asshole for any stupid shit I said or anything. And everybody that I spoke to was like, yo, damn, P, like, it's all good, my nigga. Like, you know, let bygones be bygones, my nigga. It's all good, my nigga. Fuck all that shit. Leave that shit in the past. Word. You know, so one of the first people that I hollered at when I came home, I wanted to let him know I was gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Was 50. You know what I'm saying? I told 50, I said, yo, son, I'm about to reach out to everybody. I don't give a fuck. We got drama with them. I don't give a fuck. Wow, I'm reaching out to everybody because Mobb Deep is not in the position to be beefing with people. You know what I'm saying? We got to get bread. Like, you know what I'm saying? We need to get bread. Right. You know what I mean? We're not in a position to be going to war with people. Like, you know what I'm saying? We here for business. We got to make our money. All this beefing is stopping the money. Right. And he was like, yo, you right. He's like, that's smart. He was like, do that, son. He was like, do that. I was like, yeah, I'm just giving you the heads up because I don't want you to say like. Yo, what the fuck is wrong with P? Like,
Because it seems like you guys kept a great rapport, even though maybe that deal didn't work out the way you wanted.
I mean, that's my nigga. Like, I
Yeah.
fuck with son. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got history before the G Unit deal. Like, you know what I'm saying? We got friends in common, like street shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
money bags.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I wanted to have that conversation with him, let him know what I was doing and why I was doing it. So it wasn't shocking to him to see me.
Or disloyal in any kind of way.
Yeah, see me hollering at Rick Ross or see me doing a song with this one. It's like, I don't give a fuck about none of that beef shit. Fuck all of that shit. Like, we niggas got real problems. Like, niggas got real drama in the street. You know what I'm saying? This is business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not beefing with these rappers. Like, we're gonna have a shootout at the fucking show. Like, come on, like, chill. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Did the airplane incident kind of give you another awakening moment?
Well, when the airplane was on fire?
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know about this one.
So, please tell a story, P.
All right, so basically we had a show in I think it was Chile. We got booked for a show in Chile, and this is like 2006, 2007, something like that. So we had our little crew with us, and we on the plane, and it's like there was a lot of turbulence. I didn't know what was going on. Like, I was in the zone playing little PSP video game.
P playing PSP.
I was playing Miami Vice. That was like my favorite game on that shit, right? So I'm sitting there playing the game. I feel a lot of turbulence. I'm like, damn, it's a lot of turbulence. Like, fuck it though. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just playing the game in the zone, trying not to think about it. Like, you know what I mean? Because I always got the mentality like, God is holding the plane and he's gonna bring this motherfucker down just like this on the runway, like safely. Like, you know what I'm saying? The plane is in God's hands. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, always think like that. So all of a sudden, I see this nigga 40 running up the aisle.
40 Glock.
Right. I see 40 running up the aisle, wailing, yo, cuz. Yo, the plane is on fire, cuz. He's running up the aisle up to the first class. Me and Hab up in first class, right? He ran all the way up the aisle screaming, yo, cuz, the plane on fire, cuz. The stewardess is like, could you please sit down, sir? Are you scaring other passengers? I'm like, the fuck is, I took the headphones off. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, yo, the plane on fire, cuz. Look out the window. Look out the window. I'm like, oh, shit. So the lady made him sit down. So I'm just like, all right, you know what? I'm just keep playing this game. God got the plane in his hand. We're gonna be all right, yo. You know what I'm saying? And they had to make an emergency landing. They turned the plane around. I was shook, but I was just like, you know, trying to be cool about it and just not think about it.
The
like,
engine blew up or some shit? It was like on fire?
The engine exploded.
Oh my God.
You look out the window, the fucking whole engine was
They
like
thought 40 Glock was lying.
Man,
40 Glock
that
was
shit
lying.
made me, I'd be a super fucking, I'm going to church after that.
Yeah,
Word
man,
up.
but even like, you know what I mean? Even with all that with 40, man, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even want to really talk about it, but, you know what I mean? I would write him letters while I was locked up. And I used to be like, yo, son, cut that shit out, man. Like, all that beef, you beefing with niggas, like, yo, chill, my nigga. Like, chill with that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because me and Lil Wayne is cool. Me and Baby, you know, is like, I know these niggas, like, you know what I mean? We got a relationship, like, you know what I mean? So, and even when Wayne was locked up, you know what I mean? We writing each other letters and shit, sending each other letters through our families, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I told Wayne, I was like, yo, son, I don't know what's going on with this nigga, but, you know, I don't co-sign that shit. Fuck all of that shit, son. You know what I'm saying? That's my homie. You my homie. I gotta sit y'all niggas down, the dead dad or whatever. He was like, nah, man, we ain't worried about that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. We love you, P. Da, 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 da. I'm like, yeah, but that shit is bullshit. Fuck all that beef and shit. You know what I'm saying? We getting bread, my nigga. Like, we ain't thinking about that shit no more, son. All that beef and that, we ain't trying to do that no more.
Yeah.
I'm just writing you to let you know that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna holler at son and we gonna dead all that shit. Like, he like, yo, I feel that, yo. He was like, thank you, good looking out and all that. So, you know, I used to write 40, like, yo, what you doing, son? Like, cut all that beef and shit out, man. That shit is whack. I was just telling them where my mind was at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he was like, nah, you don't know, son. You know, this is just some, you know, this some gang shit you don't really know about. Da, da, da. I'm like, yo, son, trust me, man. I see the bigger picture. Like, I'm sitting in jail and I see far ahead into the future, my nigga. And you need to stop, my nigga. And he just wouldn't listen. So it was like, I had to back up. Like, you know what I'm saying? All right, cool. I'm out of it. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, all that shit popped off. You see what happened. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that bitch changed everything, man.
You know what I mean? Like,
and you dropped your first book, man. That shook the world up, man. Why was it important for you to be so honest and just really just no prisoners, take no prisoners, and just really bear it all out?
I mean,
and tell your truth.
I wanted to tell I don't want nobody else telling my story. You know what I'm saying? That's how I looked at it. Like, I don't want nobody else being able to tell my story. You know what I'm saying? While I'm still alive, I'm gonna tell my story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, it was a lot of shit that happened that I just needed to get off my chest, and I think that people needed to know. Like, wow, I'm sure a lot of our fans was curious about a lot of shit. A lot of decisions that we made, a lot of different things, decisions I made. You know what I'm saying? I know our fans was like, well, why did this happen? Like, why, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things probably made people not like us anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of decisions and a lot of just moves that was happening. A lot of people didn't like us because of the G-Unit move that we did. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to explain a lot of shit so people could understand the mentality, our mentality, my mentality. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, to me, I think I did a pretty good job. You know what I mean? A lot of people was upset about it. Yeah. But actually, I honestly don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Well, only Nori was really probably the most vocal at that time. But
yeah, I mean, whatever. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, everyone's gonna get the Commissary Kitchen cookbook. Ain't gonna
more
be no
books
issues.
coming though, and you're gonna do this. Besides this book, you got another book coming, right?
Yeah, I mean, I started a publishing company, Infamous Books. You know, and this is probably like my 6th, 7th book since I've been home.
Damn. Oh, HNIC did a novel too, right?
I put out a bunch of novels, and you know, I'm gonna keep it going, man. Like this book right here, Commissary Kitchen. It got some stories in it, so it's not just a cookbook. You know what I mean? It got stories behind all the recipes and everything like that. But yeah, I'm getting into other books too, man. I'm trying to.
I'm saying you're like an author, man.
Yeah, I'm working on some children's books, like I got some ill plans. Like,
so what does that
for
give
the little dunce?
Yeah, little dunce. You know what I mean?
What does being an author like give you in terms of like, you know, making a hit record, making classic albums is one thing, but what is the joy you get out of making these books and these tangible products and being an author?
I mean, you know, just from writing lyrics, you know, it inspired me like to write more, like write scripts, write books, like just use my skill for writing in other avenues, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's good with a book. It's like I'm able to, you know, depending on what type of book it is, but for like a novel, a fiction novel or something, I'm able to like use my imagination and my creativity to create an ill story, like, you know what I'm saying? And write in a different way, because the song is like, you know, 4 minutes, 3 minutes long. So it's like you gotta get your point across like that, you know what I'm saying? But with a book, it's like I can emote and, you know, prolong the story a little bit, take the reader on the journey, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a different style of writing. I like it, man, you know? Word. Yeah.
Well, we like it, man. We're gonna support him. Make sure you get that Commissary Kitchen.
My Infamous Prison Cookbook.
When does it drop, P?
October 11th, you know what I'm saying? And the reason I actually started writing like scripts, books, anything was because I want Mobb Deep to be everywhere you turn. You know what I'm saying? You go in the movie, you go on Netflix, you see a Mobb Deep movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? You see our name up there somewhere. You go in a bookstore, you see our name in there somewhere. You know what I mean?
That reminds me that I didn't get my favorite question off. Why are there not more groups, man? Why is it like everybody's individuals? There's nobody building great rap duos, great rap groups. Like, why do you think that's such a lost art? Like what you and Havoc have put down.
I mean, it's not easy. Number one, you know what I mean, to have a group of people, you know what I mean, on the same page, focus on one goal. You know what I mean? That's definitely not an easy thing to do. Another thing is just like, you know, a lot of people are greedy too, man. You know what I'm saying? They just want it all for themselves. Like,
I want the bag.
They don't want to split that. You know what I mean?
Split the bag.
Word. You know, I think that has a lot to do with it too. Like, you know, word. But yeah, it's not easy to have a group. Like, you know, it's not easy. Plus, it's just not easy to be successful with anything in life. Like, it takes a certain type of individual that works hard, and, you know, it's not for everybody. Like, you know, it takes a lot of hard work and dedication to be successful at something. So I'm sure there's a lot of groups out there that they just didn't pop off. Like, you know what I'm saying? It didn't work for them.
But it's you probably can think Mobb Deep's up there with the greatest groups.
Of course.
You know, like what's your top 5 besides yourself? Like, if you when you think great groups or great rap groups.
Shit. Run DMC, NWA, you know, Outkast.
Oh yeah.
Wu-Tang. You know, there's a few of them.
I always say that's a good 5 for Mobb Deep right in there.
I always debate between Mobb Deep. We always have online on Twitter and think people like, what's the greatest group, Mobb Deep or Outkast? And it's false. So it's all fuckery.
I mean, then you got like ASAP Mob. You know what I mean? They got some dope rap. Like Ferg is dope. Yo, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ferg is nice. I like Ferg a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that legacy, man. IMD,
Hits,
baby.
man.
Word, man.
IMD stamp across the board, man. Thank you, Prodigy. We
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you, homie. Thanks for coming through, man.
Anytime, man. You already know. Anytime.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for having me
Yes,
up
sir.
here. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the listeners, all the people out there. You know what I'm saying?
He's back, baby. When we get some new music, man. We get some new music.
Man, I'm about to drop my next solo project. Comes out like mid-February.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be really crazy. The people not even ready for that. That's gonna shock people.
But you gotta sign this picture that I have. Been having it for years. When I used to work at XXL. Now I got better. Yeah, there you go.
All right, P. Thanks again, brother.
Shit,
What's
this
that?
is
Explain that what that is. Explain what that is before we get out of here.
I've been sitting on this for about damn near 10 years.
Wow.
What's
man.
that? You remember that photo?
Yeah, this is dope, man. This is in Queensbridge. That's Mike DeLorean from Balls and Hooks.
Where's Bars and
Mike
Hooks?
DeLorean.
They still doing their thing, man. You know what I mean? That's my little homie right there. He's doing a lot of time right now.
Oh, wow.
Wow, this is an ill picture, yo.
Yeah, when I was leaving XXL, like the photo editor, she was like, I always looked at that picture. I was like, this is a really dope photo. And she's like, you want it? I was
Yo,
like,
this
yes.
is ill. I need like a copy of this. Word. This is really ill, yo. I gotta put this on the wall, man.
Word
I
up.
got you. I'm signing it up. Word.
Bet.
All right, y'all. All right, beat out. We out here, man. Thank you again, Prodigy.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man.
Yeah, Rap Radar Podcast.
Yes, praise the infamous.